What is up, good sir? How are you doing, Isaac?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing good, man. Seasonal allergies are in full swing, and things are blooming in the yard. So, what are we talking about this week?
I think, in accordance to what you said, spring has sprung. We had a down here or up here in Ohio. We had a 70. I think got up to 74 today. It's a beautiful day.
There we go.
It was 31 when I woke up. So we're
Ooh.
we're getting the range.
We are still in that weird time. I was talking to a friend of mine. It's like you send the kids off with a jacket on. You're like, grab your jacket. Make sure you get your jacket. And within 2 hours, it's in the on the floor somewhere in a classroom. You don't know where. They don't come home with it. It's just lost forever.
Yeah, that's why you got to buy 3, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So just keep a collection of them, just in case they need them. So
very true.
Yeah. So how have you been, man? It's been our last episode. We actually had Ross Thompson on of the Op, and so this week we have a normal episode, and then I think next 2 weeks from now we're going to try to have another guest on. So how have things been for you and your family?
Things have been good. We've gotten some gaming to the table. We've had an opportunity to play a few different things. We had our vaccine group here that have been meeting and getting play some games too. So that's been a blast. Just a lot of fun with the warmer weather coming. We've gotten outside and gotten to do a little bit of. My wife is very much loves to plant stuff. She loves to get the flowers out. We got giant pots all around the house of flowers getting ready to go. You know, then once the frost clears, they'll be moving outside. But right now we're a mini greenhouse. So
that's cool. Yeah. So for when we talk about spring and what your family likes to do, so our family, there are a couple parks around here around Columbus, and we really enjoy just going out to the park, getting some time outside. I don't know if it's like this where you are, but in the South, pollen attacks you. It's not actually, pollen is not this like thing that just exists. It kind of hits you. You just walk outside and it's attacking you. You come in with a different color shirt than you walked outside with. So it gets real rough around here in the South.
Yeah,
so,
it gets pretty heavy. Yeah, it's not. And if you're anything like me, it's not pretty. It sticks all up in here.
Oh yeah. But we love going to the park. We try to ride bikes from time to time. We've got to find out, since it's been so long since we've ridden a bike. I've got to see how many of our bikes have flat tires. But that's something that we really enjoy doing once the weather gets nice.
I'm a big rollerblader. My wife likes to run. I like to rollerblade. So actually, this evening, my last patient canceled. So I had a little more time than I usually do on a Monday night. And so I went out and got 30 minutes up and down the trail and quick shower. And here we are.
That's awesome. Very cool. I wear a size 17 shoe. So I've never.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, when I was 12, I had a 12, 13, I had a 13. So it went with my age. And so I never really got an opportunity to rollerblade. By the time I was 15, 16 years old, I'd grown out of, that was when it was really hot, like 14, 15 years old. And I just never got a chance to rollerblade because I couldn't find anything my size. And so I just stuck to regular quad skates, went to the skating rink all the time as a teenager and stuff like that. But rollerblading, never had a chance. So
That's fair.
Yeah. So we are going to be talking about games that get you into that spring mindset. And actually, Isaac, you have one that's currently on Kickstarter, right?
I do. I wish I had it. I had to mail it off to the next reviewer, so I don't have it physically in front of me here. But it's going to be hitting Kickstarter tomorrow, actually. From Pencil First Games, who make. And this, hint, it's not the last time you're going to hear from Pencil First Games or hear about Pencil First Games, exactly. Who makes some beautiful, I'll see your giant herbaceous and go with my pocket edition.
There we go. Yep.
Herbaceous, but floriferous, which is their new game, coming out, similar to herbaceous, similar to Whatnot Cabinet, beautiful artwork, quick play, a lot of strategic moves to be made in a very compact time, 15, 20 minutes. It's beautiful. This artist, and her name escapes me right now, but she did all the artwork on this as hand-drawn watercolor pieces.
That's really cool.
Every flower, every arrangement, every piece on there is completely different. It's a beautiful thing. Ed over at Pencil First Games just does some quality games. He's really settled in to a niche of games that are
Yeah.
just, I mean, they're just beautiful, and
Yeah.
I'm really happy with his work.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that hits Kickstarter tomorrow. So Floriferous, if you haven't seen it, it's beautiful. I don't know about the gameplay. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but just seeing just the preview posts and some of the artwork that they've released from it, it's just gorgeous. It's in the same way that when I first found out about Herbaceous, I'm big into gardening. We started a community garden years ago here in our neighborhood. And when I saw Herbaceous, I mean, it clicked right away. I'm like, man, we plant this stuff in the garden all the time. We use it for cooking. It's so good. So
Beautiful stuff.
yeah, one of my games that get me into a spring mindset is actually Harvest Dice. So this was a roll and write. This was one of our first roll and writes that our family really, really kind of struck a chord with us. Like it's a small enough box. Bob actually taught us how to play this one. This was a game that we played at work all the time. And so this little box, we would bring it all over the place with us. And you just roll the dice, and you've got different color dice. You've got them orange for carrots. You've got green for lettuce and red for tomatoes. But this is a really cool, like, I don't know. This is a great entry into understanding roll and writes, and so what you're doing is you're drafting, but you have to put the things in your garden plot so that they link from other things. So you can't have a tomato here and then another tomato way over there. They kind of have to vine out and connect to each other. And the more of a certain thing that is left over, the more it's worth. Basically, so the thing that's left, if everybody drafts a die and the tomato is left, the tomato is going to go up in price. So it's interesting. The little just light economy, really cute game. But when spring rolls around and I start working in the garden again, immediately I'm like, oh man, Harvest Dice.
Well, one I didn't have on our list, but goes in that veggie themes. Point salad is another great.
That's right. Point salad.
Neither of us end up having that. But you mentioned veggie, and that was like the first thing I thought of was,
yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot about that one. So I love the simplicity and ease of that game.
Absolutely.
If it's one you play and you enjoy, I'd recommend. This is what we've moved to. We just always play with the full deck, no matter what the player count. Mm-hmm. It's so much easier than having to take out 3 tomatoes and 3 everything else. So
that is when games have that setup. It's interesting because it's funny. My wife called me the other day. Where is it? She took Kohaku with her on a girls' weekend. It was a little birthday trip, and so she took Kohaku with her. And she called me. She was like, hey, we're playing with 3 players. I haven't played with 3 players in a long time. Like, what changes? And so I love how on Kohaku it's got the little symbol for 3 or 4 players, and you just look for the symbol and take it out. I like it when a game makes it very, very easy to be like, oh, well, this is how the game changes setup with the different player counts.
Right. Nice and easy setup.
Exactly. So Wingspan's another one. I didn't put it on my list because you put it on your list.
I did.
Man. So how are you liking the Oceania expansion?
So what I don't like is that I have so much Wingspan stuff, I can't even come close to shutting the box anymore.
Okay.
I've given up on. I literally have it in 2 separate boxes on the shelf, like the 2 lid halves. But there is a big box coming. Jamie did talk about that recent past, so I'm super excited about that. I like the additional resource.
Yes.
I do like that it adds that. What I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of, like, I like the nectar. I like that it's a wild. I like that it comes and goes. I'm not sure how much I like the new boards, to be completely honest. They add some different actions. I like the artwork on them against Beth Sobel artwork. I love that. But I don't know. I need to play it a few more times. I think
Okay.
part of it is familiarity. I bet we'd played Wingspan 40 times, the
Yeah.
regular version of
Yeah.
it. And my wife immediately, right, we did this, and she was like, I don't know if I like this newer version of the
Yeah.
board. So we'll see. It's got, I think it definitely. I mean, it's going to be a evergreen game, right? They're going to add birds until they're blue in the face, and then they're going to
Yeah.
add cartoon birds, and then we're going to get Angry Birds edition, and
There we
we'll
go.
get we'll get everything else. So
That would be interesting to see a Wingspan Angry Birds edition. That yeah, I want to see
I would play
Beth Sobel. I want to see Beth Sobel draw a very, very, very like beautifully illustrated Angry Birds, just that fat bird with its
that would
big
be
beak and giant eyes. Yeah.
that'd be
Um,
amazing.
so Wingspan, I actually don't have the other expand, the European expansion. I don't have that
Mhm.
one, and so the Oceania expansion, so the first one that we've picked up, and I mean, we played the first time we played with it. We were both like, yeah, this just stays in the box. Like, this is the new where we playing, you know? So I couldn't imagine having the cards with that one and then the European expansion and just having to deal with all the birds.
Well,
So,
I mean, you never, even in the base, you never have a chance to get through all the birds, right?
correct. Yeah.
But I love that. I read a written interview once with Elizabeth
Hmm.
Hargrave. Talks about how she adjusted every expansion means that the percentages where it says like find birds with this nest, it's in 12% of these cards. The percentages will always be correct no matter how many birds get added. So
Really?
she made it a point to keep the game balanced
Yeah.
from here to however long. The other thing I
That's
heard
really cool.
too. Now I love this game. My wife loves the game. Everybody that plays it loves it. I love it as an engine builder. I love the mechanics of that. And they said some of the earliest versions had phases where you would literally like attack other people's birds, and like your bird would kill somebody else's bird. Now
Okay.
there's some mechanics to that I think in the version you're talking about,
Hmm.
where you can steal another bird or steal a resource, but then that player can take something to make up for it.
Got
So they
it.
talked about how with an engine builder, you never want to do something that just halts somebody's engine building in,
Yeah.
a,
Yeah.
in an attacking way, because it turns them off to the game completely.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah,
So they're
I could see if there was a lot of take that and Wingspan, somebody who is a newer player just kind of getting frustrated because the other people at the table know how to play. They know what they're looking for. They know the birds that can attack other birds. So that makes sense. So
I think that's one of the reasons I love it. It's the simplicity, the beauty of it. It's not aggressive, right?
yeah, yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
a game. Do you have
So
any
what?
other spring games for you personally?
No, not really. So some of my other games are going to actually show up in what we're going to talk about in just a little bit for favorite gardening and planting games. So I'll save those for that. But I was going to remind people, if you're watching, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or whether it's Gaming with Sidekicks Facebook group or the One Board Family Facebook group, no matter where you're at, if you want to just ask questions or chime in on some of the games that we're talking about or what your family likes to do in spring, do it. We would love to hear from you. That's part of what we're doing with the game chat. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so you had Bloom on here. That's the roll and write from Game Right. Is that right?
Yes. So
Okay.
the wonderful Smiths were the one that turned me on to this.
Nice.
I think
Shout
Anitra,
out to Nitra and Andrew.
yep, our friends over there at the
Family
Family
Gamers.
Gamers. Anitra, I think, posted this on her personal page. I don't know if it's their game page or personal page, but she put, love this game, posted a picture, easy roll and write from Game Right. I mean, very simple. The art's, pretty straight.
I'm gonna put you primary here.
Perfect. Yeah, the
There
art's
you
pretty
go.
straightforward on this one. Like most of the Game Right dice, you got some primary colored simple dice. You got a score pad. You're growing wildflowers, and you're picking them, you're mixing them. It's one of these like 15-20 minute games, really simple and easy, really light. I grabbed it, gave it to my wife, I think amongst our stuff for her birthday, because I knew the theme would grab her,
Mhm.
and the ease of like, it's after dinner, no one feels like a huge game, grab something simple. I like to have a variety of those because I don't want to keep playing the one or two or three that we have, right?
Yeah.
I literally want to have 50 different kinds so I can like, oh, we haven't played Bloom for a while, right? Like let's
Yeah.
try that one. So solid,
And
solid.
roll and writes are so good for that. I remember Quicks,
Yeah.
which is another game right game. Quicks was one of the first roll and write games that I taught my dad because he likes Yahtzee. He's just classic, like roll dice, write something down, and he really liked Quicks. I mean, he really enjoyed that one to the point. I think that my sister-in-law may have gotten that for him as a deluxe version for a birthday or Christmas one year. So it's a game that he really digs. So, and he is a particular gamer. We'll say that. if you read, I wrote a review for Strike recently, which is basically throw dice into a bowl and see what happens.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and he loves that game. So it was really fun around Christmas with that. So
awesome. So what else? What else do you have on your? Oh no, we've covered that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So okay. So Isaac, I'm going outside. Me and the family, we're going out to the park. We still want to play a game. Like I'm thinking about games all day, every day while I'm working, while I'm not working on the weekends.
Yeah.
I want to play some games. Do you have some suggestions for games that we can play outdoors?
So we've had some failures of attempts at games to play outdoors.
Yeah,
Definitely run into that. One of my biggest failure ones I remember was trying to play Forbidden Island. One of the first times we got it, we set up all the cards and then they're just flying everywhere. So card-based games sometimes are not a good idea, right?
Correct.
One of the ones I thought of first, and I've got it in it's 2-player game. Got it in my handy dandy craft boxes.
Nice.
Is Hive, right? Pretty straightforward. Very easy 2-player game. And spring themed, right? As you've got all these little animals. I love, the simplicity of the carrying case, but you got your animal tiles and these aren't going to blow away, right?
Absolutely.
These guys are staying in place. So very, very easy to portable outside type of game.
Yeah, when you're thinking about things blowing away, we were playing a card game with another family at the park a couple weeks ago, and the cards, because you had to kind of lay down rummy sets and things like that, and the cards were literally blowing back at us, and we're trying to like hold them down. We're like, okay, I'll hold these down while you take your turn, and then we'll switch. And so we were having fun with the game, but the wind was definitely screwing us up. One of the ones that we've thought of is Quirkle. So you've got the big chunky wooden tiles. Especially outdoors, the colors actually look a little better. So one of the things that my son has a little bit of color blindness, and so he struggles with the blue and purple color a little, and then sometimes the red and orange. But outside, when you're playing outdoors, when you're playing on a picnic blanket or a picnic table or whatever, that is a really solid game. And all you need, you can keep track of score on your phone or on a sheet of paper, and you don't need much more, so.
Another good wind resistant game.
Absolutely. Yep.
So this one, same thing. And I think the tile thing we're talking about a little bit, you mentioned Kohaku is another good tile based game, but the OG tile game, right? You picnic blanket, right? Make sure it coordinates.
Right?
And you take this guy out, especially now with the expansion that adds the trays. Right?
Do you have those?
I do. It actually all fits in the box, which I was
really
excited. Yeah, I've got all of the base, all of my extra tiles.
Nice.
And including don't forget the Joker tiles.
There we go.
But the plastic pieces that are made by the company all fit in. They're pretty simple overlay. Just lay right on top.
Yeah.
They're smooth. They don't scoot around at all.
I like that it holds the cube that keeps track of your score. That's the easiest thing when somebody moves the thing, and it just, you're like, did I have 12 or 15 or so.
But yeah, I get it's all in here. I think there was an insert in this originally I took out, but all fits in. It's tight, it's compact, nice and easy. So this was a great portable game.
Absolutely. So Jazz stopped by and said hello. Jazz, how are you doing, sir?
Jazz over at the Lobby of Hobbies doing some solid content.
Lobby of Hobbies, if you're not subscribed to them on YouTube, or if you haven't found them on Facebook, check them out. Jazz is doing an awesome job over there. Lobby of Hobbies again.
Yes, he is. A good friend. He gets some quality work. So I feel like I haven't seen anybody for so long. It's so like I'm like, oh, I just saw him at PAX like a year and
A year and a half ago. So, when we talk about portability and games that we take when we travel, Deep Sea Adventure goes with us everywhere that we go. If we go on a vacation, Deep Sea Adventure's with us. It's just it just has to come with us. One of the things that I realized that I love so much, my brother got a 3D printer, bought a 3D printer a little while back, and the first thing I asked him to do was print an insert for.
nice.
Look at that sweet insert.
That's perfect. Nice and crisp.
Yeah, nice insert. So anyway, this is a Deep Sea Adventure is a game that goes with us anywhere we go when we go on vacation or if we're staying away somewhere, it comes with us. And then another one I thought about portability and not having pieces that are going to blow away too bad. The Big Dig. This is a TMG game from probably 2 years ago. It is a flip and write game. It's real simple, but I'll tell you, this is one of those, when you're playing, when you got to like get the kids to chill out for a minute. This is a car game. This is perfect to play on the car. Portability and I hear my own voice. Not having pieces that are going to blow away too. Where did I hear my own voice from?
I think that might have been me. I apologize.
Oh no, you're good. I was like, whoa.
Sorry,
I'm looking over at my phone.
Sorry.
What? No, you're good. Okay. At least I'm not going crazy. So you're digging through, it's a double-sided dry erase board, and you're digging through, you have 3 different objectives that you're trying to complete, and you're trying to be the first one to complete it. And so it plays in about 10 to 15 minutes. It's double-sided, so a little variability there. But it's a fun game. It's you've got different things, like you have to unearth a monument. You have to go through all of the different tokens. You have to get all the emeralds, things like that. So, but it's 10 to 15 minutes. It's a great travel game. It's something that you can play sitting on a picnic blanket at a picnic table, outside, hanging out in the spring.
I love TMG games. I'm not familiar with that one. I just made myself a note to go look it up. Oh, under $15.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'll be buying that here shortly.
Yeah, it's a cool one. So, and you've got the polyomino card, basically the cards with polyomino shapes. So you're digging through the dirt with that shape. So
nice. Like what's the Pandasaurus one that has the polyomino? Shoot, I can't think of the name of it. It's like roll and write, but you're flipping the polyomino shapes. It's something moon. Yeah, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. So
Dave is throwing out. Does Flower Knight boss expansion in Kingdom Death Monster count? Sure.
It has the word flower in it.
Yeah.
So I mean that's
spring.
fine.
Yeah. It's a springtime game. Seems to make sense.
Perfect. So I had for portability. So one with a little bit of a card-based game. Did I grab it? I did grab it. One of my favorite card-based games. In fact, your boy Bob over there has bought so many copies of this game because he goes through it so much at work.
He's basically keeping their company afloat just by buying Skull King over and over.
I kind of want to get a custom Bob Skull King card made for this, but
if there was ever anybody who deserved a custom Skull King Bob card, yes, that's it.
I remember, I'm pretty sure, he'll have to correct me if not, but I'm pretty sure we taught him this at Origins, and he's like, okay, we'll see. And just the excitement of getting into this game. But again, all card based, but you're not necessarily setting up a tableau of cards. You know, everybody's holding a hand, you play a card, win the hand, set it aside. So there isn't cards that have to sit out necessarily for the game. So Skull King, great portability, and probably our number one goes to restaurants with us.
Oh yeah,
for it. How ingenious and simple of a game is this, right? Like
roll for it.
2 to 4 players, right? Add the other box, play with some more people. Like it's such a play with up to 8 people, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, this one's been around. I was checking the date. I want to 2013, right? So this game's fast approaching 10 years of being around. And man, this is just a solid, super easy game to throw on the table and just have a good time with.
That's cool. There was a Yahtzee. There was a Yahtzee. I've got it somewhere around here. I have no clue. It was really interesting. I love the dice. It was black and orange, but there was a Yahtzee game that came in a little box, and it was similar to Roll For It, like some of the mechanics where you're actually allocating dice to different cards and things like that. But somebody could steal a card from you on their turn because of the way that they allocate the dice. It was really, really, really cool. And so, yeah, it was one of those that I kept around for a while and then kind of lost track of it. And it's somewhere in a box somewhere. So Dave asked the question, seriously, have you guys played Blossom yet? It's an amazing 2-player game. I don't know Blossom.
I just looked it up. I'm also not familiar. I assume he means Blossoms. I found here. It looks like it's Rebel Studios. That's
okay.
Not one I'm familiar with. So I'll have to look into it.
Yeah. 2-player games. So Rick White, who writes for One Board Family, he is big into the 2-player games. In fact, he just did a review for Mandala, which just went up on oneboardfamily.com today. So 2-player games are right up. Rick, get on it. Find out about Blossom. So
get that going.
Not the 80s TV show, which is now on Hulu, but the other Blossom.
Is it really on Hulu now?
It's on Hulu because Aaron and I thought about possibly rewatching it because we grew up watching Blossom. I mean, yeah. So
we're rewatching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with the kids.
Nice, very cool.
Still like belly laugh kind of show. It's been fun watching it with them.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your favorite gardening or planting game. This is why the people came here, Isaac. This is what everybody showed up for. They stuck through 28 minutes of us rambling to hear about our favorite gardening and planting games.
It's funny is I didn't grab it off the shelf, and now I don't. I'm over here like I had stuff in alphabetical order, and I realized how much of a folly that is. Like it's never gonna stay in alphabet. Like there's kind of like a corner over here. This stuff behind me is not even close to an alphabetical order.
Yeah.
But I can't find it. But it's one of our favorite 6-player medium weight games because you can play a lot of people at the table. Is Scoville. Scoville from TMG is
Scoville. Did I mention this? I don't think I've ever mentioned it on our show, but Scoville is the game that I think would be it would disappoint me the most if I actually got it, because I've made Scoville out to be this amazing game that I have never been able to play. I've never had anyone who has it. And then I also haven't been able to get a copy for a decent price. There was a period of a while that I was watching it, and I couldn't pay $50 for it. And so it's one of those games that I've hyped up in my head to think that it's going to be amazing, but now I'm afraid of owning it. So
I think it's amazing. I really like it.
Okay.
It's solid. It's a solid medium weight game. It's got a lot to chew on. I love the pepper pieces. I love the cross, like the breeding this with this gives you this.
Yeah.
And, there's a brown pepper in it that's kind of like you mix the bad stuff. And from day one when we played it with our kids, it's been the poop pepper.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, you made a poop pepper. So that joke has never gone away. But
that's awesome.
I love it. And it is just straight gardening. I mean, you're taking your garden and walking them around. And I love all things hot. I don't know if you're a big hot sauce, hot stuff kind of guy, but
I do. My brother is much more. My brother, like, he grows peppers and he makes his own. He actually does his own pepper sauce called Pepper Punk's hot sauce. So,
nice.
But yeah, my brother's the hot sauce king, but we enjoy it. Me and my son love hot sauces. We put hot sauce on everything. So
we grew up, my background, my family, we own a Mexican restaurant. That's part of our lineage. My dad's Mexican, and I grew up in a Mexican restaurant. So I grew up around all sorts, you name it. You make it as mild or as hot as you want, but the food's never served hot. You make the salt on the side, right? You pour that stuff on as hot as you want, and we'd have guys come in, give me your hottest stuff. I'm like, I don't know if you want our hottest stuff. I'm going to show off. I'm like, okay. they take a big old spoon, put it on one chip, and put it in their mouth, and it's
They're
not a
done.
good idea. And what's the first thing they do? They grab for the water, which makes it 100 times worse. When it says
Yeah,
cat.
yeah.
So I would just stand back.
Just watch. Yeah,
Like, what
man.
can I do? I'm like, you need some milk. Do you have any milk? Yep. It's gonna take me a few minutes to find it, but I'll be
It'll be
back.
a couple minutes. It's way in the back. So,
But I love the pepper stuff. It's such a great gardening game.
so another TMG gardening game is Harvest. So, this was one that I picked up at Origins a couple years ago because it was on sale. I think they had $10 off in their booth or something like that,
Nice.
and it actually uses the exact same. Do you recognize those guys?
I do actually.
There we go. They're the exact same meeples from Scoville.
That's funny. They are.
They must have had an abundance of Scoville meeples, and they were just like, let's just make another game with these,
That's amazing.
But Harvest, it's a pretty straightforward worker placement game. You've got you are basically taking seeds and you're planting them on plots of land. You can plow fields to get more plots opened up, and everything's done in this grid system. It works really, really well. Aaron and I was determined, because it's been sitting on my shelf for 2.5 years. I was determined to learn it the other day, and I'm really glad I have. We played it 2 weekends in a row. We're probably going to play it again this week and probably introduce it to the kids. It's just really cute. Like, the artwork is just like Harbor. It's straightforward. It's very straightforward as far as like gameplay, but there are worker placement spots that change. You've got your 3 traditional worker placement spots that always are there, and then you have a deck of cards that is introduced. 2 different one worker place. Is it 2, or is it? I think it's 1 per player at the table. So you get 2 or 3 or 4 different worker placement spots available each time, and then once they're gone, they're gone. Nice. And so it's really cool. And it's got this drafting system where you are taking initiative. So you'll take an initiative card, and that initiative card has not only a number, but it has something that you get from it. So on the lower end, you're going to go first, but you get very little. On the higher end, you're going to go last, but you get crazy bonuses. So
I love that. I love the staggered positioning for stuff like that. We're actually talking about that with a lot of the Lacerda games. Placement picking really makes a difference. Do you want to go first? Do you want to go last? I mean, even in Scoville, your positioning you take, you're going to get a little better or worse stuff. I noticed as I was watching myself that Scoville is actually right there.
There it is. Yep.
Above my head. So that's why the alphabetical thing doesn't work, because it was supposed to be over there. So,
yeah. Well, Scoville, if you live anywhere near me, let me play Scoville with you, please. I definitely want to play it.
I wonder if Bob's got that one.
I don't think he does. Yeah.
It's so what's a game? Probably doesn't.
Yeah. What's another gardening and planting game?
So planting specifically, one that I like, but I wouldn't have it in my collection if my wife didn't like it a lot. And she really loves this one. And we need to play the expansion. I'm reaching. My table's getting long. But that's photosynthesis.
I like photosynthesis.
My wife really, really enjoys this one.
Yeah.
She likes it because of the planning ahead. This game requires a significant amount of planning ahead. You really
absolutely.
And I am a fly by the seat of my pants kind of gamer. I really am. I'll think ahead a turn or two, but for the most part, when you see people mathing out their moves, and in my head, I'm thinking, I wonder if I can do this turn, and hope it all falls into place. But photosynthesis is solid. I mean, the art's great. The mini series. Anytime a board game does this, it has my attention. Right.
Yeah.
And this one knocks that out of the park.
It's so good. So we actually have the expansion. We're going to be doing a review for the expansion pretty soon. We haven't gotten that one to the table, but photosynthesis is awesome. It is a slow burn game. It's definitely one of those that you're thinking through it and processing it, and then you come up to the last turn of the game and you're like, what just happened? And so you immediately want to play it again because you can do better. You can figure it out quicker. But photosynthesis is so good. So it's one that's going to stay in our collection for a long time because Aaron and I both, it feels a little bit like chess, where you're there, I'm here, I'm going to block you, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to plant a seed over there. Yeah.
So you have another one. You have another one that I backed recently, right? That you wrote the review. You guys did the review work on. I loved it. I went off of that, and I've noticed a pyramid effect started. And I don't know if you get the Kickstarter notifications from friends and fellow gamers, but my email was just of everybody back in this game.
Really? Yeah. So Three Sisters, it's way over there in the other corner of the room. Three Sisters is amazing. So it is a deep roll and write. It is from Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle, and so they're the ones who did Fleet the Dice game, and solid. I love Fleet the Dice game. That's one that I like it. Erin doesn't like it, but she plays it to humor me. I really enjoy it, and I like the theme behind Three Sisters because it's running a backyard garden. It's got an apiary where you're raising bees and everything. It's such a cool design. Like everything in it just laid out so well. And there's these hard choices of, am I going to focus on watering this turn, or I'm going to upgrade something in my shed? Do I go to the farmer's market because I'm getting all these goods and now I need to go ahead and get some points for them? It's just such a good game. I mean, it's Three Sisters. If you haven't backed it already, it's still on Kickstarter for
I think so. More days. I think it's got like 3 or 4 days left. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Three Sisters, look it up on Kickstarter. It is a fantastic roll and write. It's one that we can't recommend highly enough. It's so good. So
does your wife like that one?
She does, actually. So what's interesting is I think it's that so many things are triggering at the same time.
There are a lot in Fleet.
Yeah. So with Fleet, everything, when you can get some bonuses and then things lead to other bonuses, and then you have to it just keeps going. It's the cycle. Yeah. And I would say that the Three Sisters is even more. I mean, I got lost one time when we were playing as to, did I take all 3 or 4 of my bonuses? Like I had to really process, did I take it? Where did I take them? I had to go through to make sure I wasn't cheating. But she actually, I think she liked the gameplay behind that one. And fishing isn't either one of our deals. She doesn't even eat fish. So I think because we've done community garden work, we have gardens at our house, it made a little more sense and connected with her a little more. So
you know we need to do an episode on just roll and writes, flipping rights.
There are so many good roll and writes out there.
The good, the bad. Right?
Yeah.
Really like my wife's favorite. We talk about it. She loves Gone. Like Gone's Cleaver is her favorite. Like hands down, I know that's the first one she'll play, and so she likes things that go tink 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 tink, right? That kick. But Fleet, I know, is a very much busier, right? Yeah. And so that one I don't think she'd care for. Well, yeah, but I think that'd be good. I love roll and write games. I know there's some
I do too.
Aren't big fans of them, but when you're playing games with family, sometimes it's the easiest thing to get to the table.
It is. Right? Like after the show, there's going to be 2 options for me to game tonight. It's Luxor on BGA, or it's Castles of Burgundy, the dice game, laying in bed. Those are the only 2 options, because those are the most accessible when we're winding down and chilling, and we're not going to be sitting at a table. This beautiful game right here, Herbaceous. We talked about that earlier. This is one of my favorite gardening games because I so enjoy Beth Sobel's artwork and the way that this one plays, and kind of that tough decision making of put it in the community garden or put it in your own, and am I giving away too much, things like that. It's funny because our daughter, when we first played this game and we reviewed it the first time around, this was my first introduction to Pencil First Games years ago, and my daughter was watching a TV show and beat both Aaron and I while we're fully paying attention to the game. And Kendall's just kind of like, I think Kendall was like 9 or 10 at the time, and she's half-heartedly playing and watching TV, and me and Aaron are like mathing it out. Okay, if I put that there, I'm gonna get a bay leaf and blah blah blah. And she's just like, "Oh, my score is this," and we're like, "How did you win? You weren't even." But she was just really really good at it. So
That's awesome. Do you have
really
Sprout?
good. I don't. So Sprouts,
Either.
yeah, our friend Phil backed on Kickstarter. Shout out to Phil. And so he actually brought it to work one day, and we played it during lunch. Really enjoyed it. So
Yeah, I'd like to try that. I actually don't own the regular edition. I just have the pocket size one, which again is great. It's easy. It's portable. It's super small. Yeah, but
are they miniature cards?
Yeah, everything's like
interesting.
The size of the card.
Okay.
Little guys.
Same rules though, right?
Yep, same everything.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
The cards are. It's just a very very small little version of Herbaceous.
Nice.
Nice and easy. It was I think came out. I want to say I can't remember if this was kickstarted. This was a review copy we got sent. I think the campaign was a little bit after Whatnot Cabinet.
Okay.
So I think it was summer last year. So I'm sure that one's on its way in the near future as well.
Very cool. So we're coming up to the end of the show. Isaac, what is hitting the table this month or this week?
So we're a part of a group where reviewers, content creators, right, designers, game companies kind of have chats back and forth of like, hey, does anybody want to review this game? Hey, anybody interested in this? And for the most part, I know you're probably right where I am, where you've got enough stuff keeping you busy that you're not actively searching stuff out. But I'll check. I see a post come up, there's a post from TGG Games recently. So newer company to me for familiarity. They ran this as a Kickstart campaign, and my son and I, speaking of spring, we've been out multiple times already on the golf course,
nice,
hitting at the range and getting a couple of nines in, and we got this game called Duffers.
Okay,
Duff is like a crazy good shot, right? Duffers, the golf inspired deck building game.
Okay.
It is. I'm gonna flip it around here because it's easier for this. You set up a course. 6, 9, 18 holes, go nuts, whatever you want, and you literally create a deck building adventure as you're building your bag. So you're trying to get the good clubs, you're trying to get the good equipment. You're adding up your clubs to either buy better equipment and clubs or to try and hit on one of those courses. And you have to be within so many yards. You count your strokes. And the more strokes you have, the least amount of strokes you have, you're going to win the game. He loved it. There's so many inside golf comments and jokes and silly things. But I'm a sucker for deck builders. I love a good deck building game. And so it's a fun deck builder. It was easy in a theme that we both really love. And so those things together, no question, excellent game for a golfer who enjoys deck building.
That's really cool. That's awesome. One of my favorite golf theme games. I'm not a golfer, but do you see it back there? I don't know if you can see it. It's Mini Golf Designer. I don't know that one. So it's let me grab it real quick.
No, it's hiding back there.
Yeah. So Thematic Games makes it. This was a Kickstarter that we backed. It's really cool. So you're actually building your own golf course, mini golf course, using tiles that are hand-drawn art pieces, where you're laying out. The choice system is very much like King Domino, where you're actually placing your person out there. You're placing a token out there, and then you're drafting a piece from there. If you draw toward one side, like the left side, you're going to get a pretty common piece. If you draw toward the right side, you're going to get a more complicated piece, but you're also going to go last in turn order. So it's a really cool golf game, Mini Golf Designer. I don't know. It's fulfilled on Kickstarter. I don't know if it's for sale online. I'm not sure, but it's really, really fun. It is a table hog, though. It will take your whole table and more. So it is really a cool game. So
let's look into that one.
Yeah. So Fireball Island is a game that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I feel like I wake up every weekend and I'm like, this weekend we're playing Fireball Island. Maybe I could do a Fireball Island tournament. I don't know why. So I have to get that one to the table this week. That's mandatory.
Do you have any of the expansion pieces for it?
I don't, but the one that intrigues me the most is the one with the spiders, where it launches the spiders all over people.
That is literally the only expansion I want. My son loves it. It's
bonkers.
He loves, but I'd love to get the spider expansion for it.
The spiders flinging all over people on the mountain. It's so good. So
another one I'm playing, I didn't grab the box, but Villagers that came out.
With the little people on the box. Yeah.
Not too long ago. They are releasing a new game called Streets, and it's a same type of style box build. We got a early preview copy of it, and it's almost, I want to say it's almost like a dominoes kind of thing where you're trying to connect these buildings by their streets, and you're trying to influence people to come to those streets. You've got like hipsters, parents.
So it's city building?
Kind of. It's a flat like tile piece that you're building the streets along, and you're trying to capture certain people, and you score points based on who you can convince to come to your area. So I really enjoyed it. We've only played it once, so I need to get a couple more rhythms to it, but same type of quality production that Villagers is. The art's really good. The pieces are all good. So I'm looking forward to, cracking that to the table a couple more times here.
That's awesome. Yeah, Villagers is one that I've seen before, but I haven't picked it up or played it. So Streets, I'm a sucker for city building games. That's like one of my favorite themes. Just building a city or building some sort of grid out there and aligning everything. I just love that stuff.
You played Zoned Out? Are you familiar with that one?
No, Zoned Out. I know that name.
I thought it was right here. Right here. It's Gray Fox Games. It's a city building.
I have seen that. Okay.
But the pieces on this thing, you talk about like building a city. I gotta pull these out real quick here. They're all these acrylic. Like almost like Monopoly. The type of buildings, but you're building these little guys up.
That's really cool.
I really like this one. We played a handful of times, did a review on it, but it's one that's definitely gonna stick around my collection just because, like I said, it's the fun city building, and it's doing it a little different than some of your other straightforward stuff does.
Yeah,
but that's cool. Really good.
Absolutely. So Downforce is another one that we're going to get to the table this week. It's been a while since we've played Downforce. Probably around Christmas time was the last time we played. But Downforce is one. I've been wanting to do another Downforce tournament. We did a Downforce tournament a couple before. It was pre-COVID times. We had a tournament where Saturday we just blocked off like 4 hours and we played 3 or 4 maps, and each person their score went to a total score, and it was so much fun. We had a whiteboard sitting in the corner blocked off with everybody's scores. It was a lot of fun. Yeah,
that's awesome. I love Downforce. I think we have all the stuff now map wise, and I do like Rallyman too. I've played that a couple times, but I love the simplicity of Downforce. If I got people around the table who aren't big gamers, I'm pulling out Downforce every time. Right,
Downforce is the one that we can invite the whole family to, and then Rallyman GT is more of me and Aaron and some of our gamer friends, and then Formula D is more of the we had a Formula D league at our work, at our job, and actually that's how me and Bob bonded a lot, and so playing Formula D and just running tournaments and having such a good time. So definitely something I miss with this pandemic going on. So
understandable.
Yeah. So cool. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get all these games to the table this week.
That's the hope.
Now that Mini Golf Designer is not on the shelf, I might have to play that one next. So
I'm looking forward to seeing some pictures. So
yeah, definitely. So cool. If you haven't already, the current reigning champ. So Bob is on the One Board Family account, and he is the current reigning champ. He has the poorly done trophy. So, and he's reminding us that this is Bob.
I'm
So,
glad he can be a winner at something.
oh no, he has no way of defending himself. So if you like gaming content, if you like content made for families and people, multi-generational gaming, head over to Gaming with Sidekicks on Facebook. That's, you can see it right there, and on his shirt, and the logo right there. It's all over the place. Gaming with
It's everywhere.
Sidekicks taking
It's
over
everywhere.
the world. And if you like some of the same stuff, we're a one board family. So this is a collaboration stream, and something that me and Isaac have fun doing. So,
Yeah,
man,
it's been a
thank you.
blast.
Yeah, thank you for doing this and breaking up the monotony of like normal Mondays. So,
It's true. Hopefully, this gives people. So we're getting into the rhythm. We're doing this. What couple? We start this in Jan.
4 or 5 weeks, 5 weeks.
Yeah, a couple months now. So
Yeah.
hopefully, people can start seeing and getting a rhythm.
Mhm.
If you guys have suggestions on topics too, let us know. Throw it on any of our channels.
Absolutely.
We've got some ideas, but we'd love to hear what you guys want to talk about also. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Suggestions are always welcome. We would love to hear them. So, something to stay tuned for. We're going to be, One Board Family. We're going to be announcing our 1 year anniversary of Friday Night Fight, which is our unmatched, 2-player game that we play most Friday nights. So Aaron and I are going to be announcing that pretty soon. We've got some cool surprises for that anniversary. Yeah. So
very
it's
nice.
been a year. Can you believe that? We
What's the
started
record?
this because we knew Friday nights we're not doing anything. It came out of, well, every Friday night we're going to be sitting at home. Might as well do something, you know?
So
So
who's got the winning record 1 year later?
I am 1 game up currently. So
Okay, you've been tabulating the Friday night.
I keep records of every time we play, and I'm 1 game up because Erin beat me this past Friday night. So I was Jekyll and Hyde, and she was who was she this week? She was, I can't remember who she was.
Sherlock.
No, oh man, but she killed me. In fact, my card killed me. I played a card at the end. You got to watch that match. I played a card at the end, and it killed my character. So because of the defense she used. Anyway, yeah,
Not the way
pretty
to go
terrible. Not the way to go down. Not at all. So cool, Isaac. Have a great night, man. Enjoy your week, and everybody out there. Thanks so much for joining us on the game chat.
Thank you, friends.